Hi, today I'm going to be reviewing the JBL On Beat high performance loudspeaker for the iPad, the iPhone, and the iPod. Now I don't have an iPhone, so I can't really showcase it with that, but it's the same size as an iPod, and I've got that and an iPad to show it with. I wasn't going to do a complete unboxing; those can be a little time consuming. So here's basically what you have in the box. It came with instructions, which, you know, unopened because I'm a guy, I don't read those things. It comes with the device itself. As you can see, it's pretty small form factor. I really like that aspect of it. It comes with two little, I guess, guides for either an iPod or an iPad. That way it kind of holds it in place a little better. And it also comes with a remote. Hey, bonus, remote. You don't have to actually come up to it every time you want to make a change. Oh, also it comes with a really long cable. So you don't have to be right next to a power source. You can run it a little ways. I'd say you've got a good, probably good 15 feet on that. So you don't have to be right next to a power source, which is something I really like. Right now it retails for $170. I got this off of Amazon for $100. So here are some of the things that I like. The biggest thing that I like is that it's small, especially for something that holds an iPad. iPad devices are usually pretty large. This is pretty small for something that holds an iPad. So that's something that I'm pleasantly surprised about. I really like how small this is. It's not going to take a lot of desk space in order to get this set up. The long power cable is nice. Again, it's nice that you don't have to be really close to a power source. It's got decent sound for $100, and I'll probably get into that a little bit more, but it's not the best sound, but you're not going to get the best sound at $100 or even $170. You got to get closer to about the $300 to $600 range. It's easy to get into the box. You didn't have to get scissors. You didn't have to cut yourself all up trying to get in there. The sound is pretty clear. I listened to a lot of audiobooks. The audio was clear as a bell for that. Also listened to some light music, some instrumental music. It crystal clear, and even some more modern music, stuff with a lot of bass in it. It's pretty clear, but I'll get back to that when I get to the cons. Also, while everything is in here and being used, it's charging, which is pretty nice. And also, this little part right here swivels, which is something that I really like. It mostly comes in handy with the iPod. If you've got the iPod in there and you don't want it in this form factor, you can swivel it over to landscape, and then that way if you're watching a movie or you want to scroll through your book selection in this mode, it's really easy to do it. You don't have to take it out in order to make that work. Now, as far as the cons go, when it comes to the bass, it's not the best bass that you're going to find out there. But again, if you want that, you're not going to find it for this price range. For $100, this sounds really good. But if you want something that's going to have the neighbors complaining, you're going to want to look closer to about the $300, $600 price range. We've got a couple of those around the house, and believe me, they sound fantastic. But you're not going to get those sounds with $100, especially something this small. One of the things I don't like is, well, on the side you have the volume, but you don't. Those are the only buttons it comes with. You don't have a pause, you don't have a play. In order to do that, you've either got to use the remote, which I'll get back to in just a second, or you have to physically get into the iPod, which in the case of this one, it's locked, you know, so it's a little time consuming to get in there. It would be nice if they had some physical buttons to pause and play and skip a song right on the physically. But again, you can do that with the remote, and I'm actually putting the remote in the negative column, mostly because you have to be straight on in order to get the remote to work. Usually I find that when I'm trying to get it to work from an angle, it doesn't usually work. I gotta be straight on, and that's a little bit of an annoyance, especially in some locations. I'm not always stationary. In my office, that will probably work just fine. I'll have it pointed at me anyways, but like in a bedroom or in a bathroom, you can be moving around a little bit, so it's not always convenient for you to have to be pointing at it straight on. So just to show you how it works, one of the things that I do like, I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, I've got these little neoprene bumpers here for the back and on the side, which helps protect the device itself. That way it's not rubbing. You don't have to worry about getting any rubbing in the long run. It'll hold it in place pretty well. It's not going to fall out easily. So that's one thing that I do like. So with the iPad itself, you just put it in there just like that. This holds it into place. Now with the iPad, you can't swivel it, which is probably just better off that way, because I don't think it can really support the weight of an iPad with the swivel. So I wouldn't recommend doing it anyways, even if you could. It just seems, the iPad itself seems a little heavy. I'm not doing it with the smart cover. I took the smart cover off, but I think that with an iPad 2, a smart cover 2 would do just fine. I don't know. You know, I think an iPad 1 would fit in here with their old covers. I can't promise that, but if any, I'll search the other comments and see if anyone else comments on that, and come back if I see anything on that. But a lot of flexibility with how easily the iPad slips in there. I have a feeling that when the iPad 3 comes out, it will probably support that as well. It's not like the Apple dock where you have to get it completely flush in there. It's not completely flush, but it's still held in there just fine. And then again, you do the same thing with the iPod. You just slip it in there and boom, you're ready to go. The other thing that I like is everything is charging when you have it in here. That way when you're done listening to your device, you don't have a dead device. You've got it fully charged. You can take it out and when you go mobile with it. Again, you can go, you can swivel with it like this. And with the iPod, if you're not swiveling, you don't even need this little bumper thing on the side. It'll hold it in place just fine without that. But if you're going to be moving it around, then I would recommend that you go ahead and hold it in place with this. One of my bigger reviews was when I reviewed the shuffle. Yes, it's shuffle friendly. You can go ahead and snap it in there. Of course, none of the holders are going to do you any good, but you can get it in there and it'll work just fine. It will charge and it works with the remote and everything. So if you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. If you got any questions, I'll try and get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Definitely going to keep this around again for $100. It's pretty decent. I'm going to give it a 4.5 stars, rounded up to a 5 out of 5. It's got a couple of negatives, but the pros far outweigh those negatives. And $100 is a good price range for a product like this. So thank you for watching. Appreciate it, and have a nice day.